He is, he's in the background. Live, guys. Okay, we're live, everybody. Okay, we're going to get started, please. Good evening. The hour being 6:30 p.m. on Monday, March 25th, 2024. I'd like to call to order the Brookfield Village Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Bridget, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Here.
Trustee Cote?
Here.
Trustee Hendricks?
Here.
Trustee Gahuli?
Here.
And trustees Niramatsu and Kaluzny are absent. President Garvey?
Here. Okay, thank you, Bridget. We don't have any appointments or presentations tonight. At this point, I will open up the meeting to public comment. I'm going to start on this side tonight. Is there anyone on my left side that wants to address the village board? Okay, hearing none, is there anybody on this side that wants to address the village? Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Dufek? Could you possibly come up to the microphone, or? That's okay. It's just that the recording, we have to have all public comment on the recording.
Marie Dufek, 3825 Arden Avenue. I missed the meeting on South Kiwanis Park. I was out of town. Is there any minutes on that I can get for the South Kiwanis Park?
Stevie, if you could address that, please.
The last South Kiwanis Park meeting was an open public meeting, but I can get you the collected notes. It was just commentary on the different types of amenities and concepts that we have to date.
So it wasn't an actual commission meeting, or?
No,
Okay.
it was an open public meeting.
Well, when I came back, I asked my neighbors about it, and they said they knew nothing of it. But trustee Galuzny said that it was gonna be February 28th, and unfortunately, I wasn't here. But there's no minutes on a public meeting like that?
No, it was an open format, so we had concept boards on walls, and people were allowed to come and go and write their input for documentation on the plan.
Is that similar to the meeting that was at the Hollywood Community House? I was there at that one.
No, that one was a meeting specific for the Hollywood resident community. This meeting was open to all residents of Brookfield, but I can share you the notes that were collected from the public.
Would appreciate that.
Sure,
We'll-
absolutely.
We'll get those to you, and Trustee Kaluzny and other people can fill you in if you have questions after that, so.
Okay,
Thank you, Mrs. Dufek.
thank you.
Sorry, anyone else on the left side want to make any public comment at this time? My left? Okay, anybody on this side want to make any public comment? Yes?
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Well, this is the fifth meeting in the past 3 months many of us have attended with regards to the closing of the venue on 9105, 9109 Ogden Avenue. I've included in your packet photos of their dumpster overfilled on March 13th. The man filling the dumpster physically climbed into the dumpster and had to jump up and down on the trash in the container. On Sunday, January 7th, 10:14 p.m., Karina Sumner, Mike Orlowski, and I have video of the same individual overfilling the venue dumpster by jumping up and down on it, and then filling Merrick Animal Hospital garbage dumpster and recyclable dumpster and State Farm's dumpster by jumping up and down on the top of that trash as well. According to 720 ILCS 5/47-15, it is unlawful for a person to dump, deposit, or place garbage, rubbish, trash, or refuge upon real property not owned by that person. It would appear to me that there is a strong predisposition for the owners of the venue to return to past behaviors, obviously by these actions taken on March 13th. I've had some time to reflect on the situation, and I'd like to point out a few things. In the past 30 years, I've lived at my residence. The Brookfield Police have never been called to my home for any reason. I've never been fined by the city code department or fire department. I paid my taxes, applied and paid for permits according to the requirements of the village. I've never had my residence posted with a structure unfit for human occupancy, no entry allowed sticker, and I've never broken any of the village codes or laws. But in the past 3 months, I've been told that I should be concerned for my safety, that the village has their eyes on the business for quite some time, that it was in my best interest to file a report with the police department for a cease and desist against the owner, Frank Gonzalez, and the police department will be doing regular surveillance of the venue and my home to ensure my safety. I was also encouraged to buy a video surveillance camera system for the exterior of my home to assist protecting me from any criminal activity related to the venue and the owner, Frank Gonzalez. Now, I ask you, no problems for 30 years, no issues, complaints about myself or my home and my property. In just the past 2 years, the venue has had numerous complaints in the form of residents expressing concerns to Frank and Tanya Gonzalez directly. The numerous calls to the police requesting they handle issues at the venue, numerous village code violations, numerous fire code violations, an expired business license, involuntary dissolution of their LLC by the state for almost 2 years, ignoring the use and serving of alcohol when they did not have a BYOB or liquor license, ignoring the level of loud music at all hours and night, day and night, ignoring the capacity limits, ignoring fines, ignoring the request by the village code department that they close even after Paul Trudeau put a bright orange structure unfit for human occupancy, no entry allowed sign on the front and back door. Frank still held functions at the venue. I've served as an elementary school teacher for over the past 15 years, with most of my time at Congress Park School. I've proven myself to be a respected member of the community over my lifetime. I can't say the same for Frank Gonzalez. His disregard and his indifference toward the Brookfield community speaks for itself. I'm tired and I'm confused. Why do I still need to be coming to these meetings when clearly the situation at the venue is out of control? I deserve to be able to live in my home in peace and quiet. I deserve to be able to feel safe when I'm in my home and when I'm in my yard. And I deserve to be safe when I exit my property and when I return. I don't feel any of these things. Please take action and shut this business down once and for all. It's a blight in our community, a blight on the village, and it's an embarrassment that has been allowed to go on as long as it has. I thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Anyone else on this side want to address the board? Yes, sir, if you could please come up to the microphone.
How you doing? Good evening. My name is Frank Gonzalez. I'm the owner of the venue. All right. Excuse me for a minute. I got no idea where this gentleman's getting his information from, but I went today to Brookfield's Finest to get any calls. I only got one copy. I don't have time to make extra, but I give
Sure.
the main guy here. 2 calls were made to the venue around that area for the past 3.5 years. One call was made for an accident. Second call was, I think, January 12th, 24th, or whatever not, when things got out of hand or whatever not. The report said from the police officer that was made said that there were some teenagers in the parking lot. I mean, they're kids. They were in the venue, they were outside, whatever not. It was a graduation party, I think it was. Cops came, they looked at the teens that were there. There were no alcohol served, they weren't intoxicated. It's in the report right there. He went inside the venue, everything was fine. They're teenagers, it's a graduation party. Nothing else happened, there was no other reports. Now, also, Brookfield's Finance gave me a list of the calls that they've been getting basically after January. Basically, Brookfield spending taxpayers' money, sending a police officer over there at 12 o'clock at night on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, and the venue being closed thanks to the village right now because so-called violations or whatever not. All that has been rectified. Now there, I look at the dates and the time that caused people coming out of work or whatever not, just harassing my business. Now here, I've been in business for almost 3 years. I have a lot of good customers, a lot of Brookfield owners and running residents. So when we had COVID, they came to our business, we gave them free delivery, we took care of our community. In any business, sometimes people walk out, they do dumb things, but we can't control that. Not once is there a fight in there, not once any other vices or any criminal activities in our area. Now, all the business owners around that area that we do business here, we try to take care of one another. We share each other's parking. We try to communicate with one another. Everybody needs parking. Hey, you know what? We got nothing down during the day. This is for one of my neighbors, business neighbors. We try to share communication. Hey, you need parking, you need something, you guys can share our parking, not a problem. But for us here, this thing got out of proportion. Like I said, there's no cause in the past 3.5 of any violence or anything in the venue, around the venue. You got the police report from our Brookfield's Finest. I mean, if this would have been come to me to rectify, okay, we'll try to work it out. There's not a problem because we all in the community, we try to help each other out. The venue creates new business for other stores around the area and always try to keep it nice and neat. Normally, the garbage picks up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so hey, you know what, try to get all the garbage on Sunday night so they can pick it up. I got once or twice from Paul, hey, Frank, garbage, you know, okay, we try to get a double call. But we try to help out. Now, all the business here in Brookfield, they all got little issues, you know, but I do not have any history of violence or somebody breaking in, none of that. This is just slander to my business. They demeanor my business. You know what? Right now, we're working through the zoning I had the inspector Paul there 6 times within almost 6-7 weeks. Reinspection. What they're looking for, I got no idea, but everything passed. Supposedly, that's what Paul said. We're all working on it. We're still in zoning. I mean, how long does this take? I got no idea. Lost money. We got angry people because we had to return their money. People had baby showers, birthday parties, wherever not, and they're upset because now we had to cancel. Now, they canceled. I stopped having parties. Not a problem, because I obey the law, and I know how that is. And then we work the right. Paul knows the work that I do, everything that I do the right way, and then some. I'm not here to discriminate. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here just to run a business. Now, I've been here for almost 4 years. I own about 4 properties here in Brookfield and a couple in the Grange Park. You know, I just want something settled, something decent. Like I said, there's no history of violence or crimes in that area. Yes, there's kids in the alley. I think between my eyes here is little racism a little bit, because there were black kids in the parking lot. I think that's where they got spooked. But no violence was caused by there. Nobody got hurt. And if people want to feel threatened, you know what, so be it. Now, they're calling here, I could understand. Hey, you know what, somebody's breaking into a car, somebody this. No, none of that. I got a letter from this gentleman who just spoke on my doorstep saying that I sell drugs, sex. I got orgies in the goddamn place. I know police officers here in Brookfield. They're good friends of mine. The chief, Jim, when I talked to the chief of the fire department, nice guy. You know what, Frank, you do everything we have to do. I have no problems with them. Paul, the same way. When I built the venue, Paul came in. Hey, Frank, everything looks good. The chief came in. This is the approval the chief gave me, Jim. He goes, Frank, you're occupied for 160 people. The tops I have in there about 140. You know, this is the license that I had when I opened everything together. It's a general license when I first opened up. It's a general license for the venue, the balloon shop, all that. Now, for me, I got no idea how this got out of proportion. I was in vacation in Jamaica for my family, get a phone call, an emergency inspection. How does that happen, an emergency? I can't even get them to go out there the next day for a re-inspection. But they went in there, closed me down. They said, you know what's embarrassing? And he said it very clearly, unfit for humans. That's a disgrace, because you know what? Paul knew that my alarm system, I got a copy of the record for the past 4 years. Every time it's a signal that goes on at 5 o'clock in the morning, every day, make sure everything's working. Everything's been paid for monthly, and every year I get an update on there. I showed them the report. Matter of fact, I showed him, the manager. I showed him, hey, why is this happening? I said, I want that sign out of there. Now, all of a sudden, there's a little crack in the sidewalk. Oh, that's unfit. I had to cut a big chunk of concrete because it was unfit. If you go to a couple of places, they got the same cut, but I was the only one that they wanted to be sure to close me down for some strange reason. Now, I was not aware that they had a meeting here the last month or whatever. Not, I would have been nice if I was aware of it. This I could be here and defend my business. Now, I'm not here to hurt anybody, just trying to do a business. And I've been there for almost 4 years. 4 years. I pay my water, everything has to be paid for. Right now, I had to return money from parties, and simple parties, baby showers, bridal showers, little stuff. Yes, we have a couple in there. We're working with the zoning or the license, basically for the bring your own beer stuff, you know? People go in there, they bring a little liquor, whatever, but no, there was no fights, nothing whatsoever. I was trying to work with the zoning or the license. In the Cook County, liquor license, only if you're selling liquor, you need a license. You have to talk to the village. The village says, okay, you have a license, bring your own beer. Or if I have to pay $50 or $100 for that party for that day, that's fine. But communication, that's the most important thing. And right now, that's what I have a lack of. I left phone calls to Paul for the past week. No return. I talked to Megan. No return. She goes, I'm working on it. But I guess I found out why the delay, because of tonight. But here, I've been doing my business right. You could talk Jim, talk to Paul, and ask them. The letters that they put on my doorstep, I didn't bring the letter. Feces, urination, like, I mean, that's beyond point what they're going through. But if you could see the report there, the report don't lie, and that was from Brookfield's Finest. There's no Nothing that says about violence, nothing. But I do say it was a little bit about racial discrimination because the kids were black. That was the only thing. That they got spooked. They've been here for 30 years. Well, times are changing. And they got to understand that. Times are changing. Guess what? Brookfield, you're going to have blacks, you're going to have Hispanics. It's going to be changed. I'm sorry to say that's the way life is. I'm sorry, but you know what? As long as, like you said, everybody obeys the laws, we're all good. I have not broken one law there. Not one law. I had a police party 2 years ago. You know, little nice and quiet, not a problem whatsoever. That's okay. I mean, what is it that you guys want? I mean, what do you guys need from me? Here, I return parties. I got people upset. I got people that want to sue me because I just paid for the cake or I paid for the food. Where I'm going to get that money back. Now, what do you tell that poor lady? What am I supposed to do? You know what? I want to give them their number. Why don't you call the village, tell them what you think, and tell them what's going on. Why don't they tell me exactly what's going on? Why is it that they're scared? What are they scared about? It's communication. Hey, Frank, you know what? We just found that there's some kids in the alley urinating, whatever. Well, you know, I try to bring that to my attention. I put a camera back there. I try to put more lighting back there, you know. I could only do what I can. If you go across the street from here, go to Phil's. How many times have the cops been there this year alone? How many times have there been Irish Times? That's their problem. I got to worry about mine, but it's work together as a community. That's all I ask. And I have not broken any laws. And anything the city asks of me, I have done. The only thing they're failing me now is communication.
Okay, I'd like to clarify just two things real quickly, because you said there was a meeting here last month that if you would have known about it, you would have been here. There has been no agenda item or no meeting about your business in front of this village board.
Okay.
Let me,
I wasn't sure what
let
time,
me
though.
finish. I gave you your chance, let me finish, please, because
Right.
if we both talk at the same time, we can't hear each other.
That's correct.
You alleged that there was a meeting and that you weren't invited. We meet the second and fourth Monday of every month, and there's a public comment session allowed during this. There was no agenda item or no meeting, and we didn't get into any specifics on your case. I let residents and business owners and anyone get up and make comments to the village board. So don't say there was a meeting about you when you weren't invited. You're invited like everyone else the second and fourth of every Monday. In terms of the communication, I've seen the communication, I'm aware of the communication. You are not operating because you do not have a business license. In terms of you having to refund deposits, you don't have a business license to be booking events. And in terms of the alcohol, you've asked about the alcohol numerous times, and I know for a fact that you've been told you are not going to get a liquor license under any circumstances. We have a BYOB license. It's only offered to people that actually hold a food and liquor license, so you're not eligible. So you will never be able to book or have a party that has alcohol there. And I know for a fact that you've been told that.
Yes.
So that's clear. Is that clear?
That's clear right now, correct.
Okay, when
That's
you
right.
just spoke a minute ago, you seemed to think that there was a lack of
But-
communication.
oh, well,
You
no,
seem to
yeah.
be, so you understand you're never getting a liquor
Correct.
license? And you're not
That's right.
allowed to have anyone bring alcohol there?
No,
if-
that's correct.
Okay.
Now I know.
Well, you knew before, but now you know.
But
Okay,
more clearly, correct.
okay, glad it's clear. Anything else?
Let's do it.
Okay, thank you. Do you want these things back, or can I keep them copies to give them to the board?
Could you just give me a copy of it?
I'll have staff get it back next to you, because I can't have staff go make copies of it
Okay,
right now.
listen, I'll stop by tomorrow, whatever.
Okay, so if we could keep it all together, and we'll have staff, you can make arrangements to pick up copies. Please provide copies to the village board and copies back to Mr. Gonzalez. Any other comments on this side? Could you keep that separate?
Good evening. I just want to start off with Mr. Gonzalez's comment about lack of communication. The first event that took place there were people falling out of that place, urinating, smoking, and drinking outside of the facility. I have seen with my own eyes when he literally stepped out of his own facility to throw some garbage away, looked at everything that was going on, and went right back into his facility, continued business as usual. I'd like to take an opportunity to ask anybody who
Sir,
has had an
sir, you
issue-
just addressed, this is addressing the board. This
Okay.
isn't a public meeting about this particular topic. You get a chance to address the village board.
Fine.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to point out that we are not the only ones that are here representing our concerns about this venue. And we have approached Mr. Gonzalez on numerous occasions before this escalated to the level that it was, and we spoke to him about our concerns, and he's quite charming when he wants to be. He knows what you want to hear when you want to hear it. And his actions speak far more differently than what he's saying here and now, and what he has said to several of us. We are not the only ones concerned about the outlandish behavior that has taken place there. And so, if he owns property and if he respects this community as much as he says, then he would have taken other courses of action to try to minimize the escalation of this situation. Not once did he bother to talk to us, with the exception of when he blocked my car when we were coming to the first meeting here, and wanted to act like some Gestapo that he could just come and block somebody's car and act like he can intimidate somebody, which is not going to happen. We all have our rights, and our First Amendment right is the freedom of speech. And so I am taking this opportunity to, just like Mr. Gonzalez, advocate for what we feel is a safe community, a united community, and a community that cares enough. He speaks about the other businesses that are around him. We have not had any issues with any of the other businesses around us, not a one. But when we feel like our lack of sleep and our lack of protection is compromised, then we feel like we need to advocate for ourselves, and we utilize the proper channels. We've called the police department. We have been present during the board meetings when we knew. We did our research and homework so that we would know when was the proper time to approach and address these issues. And this is what we're doing now. And so, Fibber comes to mind for me when I think of Frank Gonzalez, because not an iota of the words that he is speaking now are truthful. And so I'd like to thank you for hearing me, and I wish you all a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Anyone else on this side? Yes, sorry, yes. Yeah, you can please come up. It's a little hard to see. I couldn't see your hand.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to each of you. I'm a resident of Brookfield. I'm a resident of Park Avenue, like my neighbor James is. In regards to...
Can we just have your name for the record? Just, that's all we need is your name.
Oh, please pardon me. My name's Katie Keller.
Thank you.
In regards to some of my work history, I've worked in the Austin community at alternative schools for over 6 years. I've worked in the Humboldt Park community, in the Belmont-Cragen community under the Reimagine Public Safety Grant, and working in nonviolence. I say this to say that I am a strong advocate of equal opportunity and things along those lines. James has been my neighbor for as long as he's lived there. Thankfully, we've had the property in our family for over 60 years about. So I would just like to, this is the first time anything's ever happened on our block. He's a wonderful neighbor. He takes wonderful care of his property. He's a strong example of ownership and stewardship for us as neighbors. He's very friendly, always speaks. So I just would like to speak to those things regarding him as our neighbor.
Thank you for coming out tonight. Anyone else on this side? Any other public comment at this point? Okay. All right. Thank you for all the public comment tonight. Seeing no more public comment, I'll move on to reports of special committees, please. Trustee Cote.
I'd like to make a motion to approve corporate warrant dated March 25th, 2024, in the amount of $1,096,682.56.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Hendricks. Are there any highlights, anything you want to point out, Trustee Cote?
No, not on this one.
Okay. Do any board members have any questions or comments about the warrant?
No.
Okay, hearing no questions or comments, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Motion passes.
You may have seen several bucket trucks throughout the village. They're working on upgrading the camera system and expanding the camera system throughout town. I Just want to make sure you're all aware of that. There is a public email that does go out. You can go to the village website and probably sign up for that, and you'll get information as such so that you know when these things are going on. In regards to DPW, I want to remind everybody that the parking restrictions will change come April 1st. So please be aware, check your local parking ordinance, check your signs now so that you're aware of it. Take a picture of it, put it on your phone, save it a favorite, whatever you have to do so that you know the street you need to park on come April 1st. The streets department has been busy with sign replacements and completed a pass-through of the village filling potholes. Forestry has also been busy doing tree removals. They removed 12 trees, but they are also inventorying trees for tree trimming that's going to start in April. Our utilities were very busy. They had 2 water main breaks, one on Plainfield Road and one on the 4500 block of Park Avenue. Those have been taken care of. And as always, if you see issues in town, the best method for passing this information off to DPW, Department of Public Works, use the See-Click Fix program. You can install it on your phone, you take a picture of the item in hand, and you report it in. That's the best way. That is the best way for it to get taken care of. It'll get into a ticketing system, and then they will take care of it. In regards to the library, they're expecting, the library isn't expecting, but the whole world is expecting a total solar eclipse come April 8th. The library is going to hold a viewing available. They're going to hand out eclipse viewers starting today, actually, March 25th. You can go to their website. On April 8th from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m., they will have a viewing for the solar eclipse. They'll have a solar eclipse watch party. It is available on their website, more information. Not the eclipse isn't available, but the information is available. Hey, I'm killing this report there, Mike. And then, so if you do need a pair of eclipse viewers for that big day, please go now because they only have a limited amount. So get it from the library. For those of you who might be in need, we do have 2 food pantries in town. One of them is open tomorrow night from 7 p.m., I believe, till 9 p.m. That's a Share Food, Share Love food pantry. If you are not in need, but you would like to help those in need, please go to their website or their Facebook page and try to find out about volunteer opportunities. If you are a veteran and you're looking for mental health assistance, you can do so via the Jesse Brown VA Medical Center. Please call 312-569-6177 to get started with enrollment. If you are struggling and you need help, please call 988. If you're a veteran and you are struggling, you need help, 988 option 1. The VA has a national coaching into care where they have licensed psychologists and social workers willing to talk to you by phone free of charge to help you sort your way through the VA system. If you need to speak to a VA coach, call 888-823-7458, Monday through Friday, 8 to 8 Eastern Time. There are a lot of other resources through the Veterans Affairs of Cook County. We put a link to that off of our website, the Brookfield website. If you go to the community section, you will see that. And as Trustee Gilhooly had pointed out to me, we have also started adding other mental health contacts under there. So please visit the Brookfield website. And if you don't have a computer, you can go to the library and get a computer. And you can also visit the website that way. But there is plenty of information regarding that. And one last item I did want to touch base on. If you are a homeless vet or you know a vet who is on the verge of becoming homeless, have them call 877-424-3838, and they can get assistance from the VA for getting a place to live. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Cote. Trustee Gilhooly, Chamber of Commerce, please.
Yes, just a very quick update. You mentioned the Share Food, Share Love Food Pantry, the Chamber After Hours, this Thursday, the 28th, from 5 to 7:30. You need to be a member of the Chamber, but they are going to do a special tour of the food pantry and have a nice little social event this Thursday evening. So if you're a member of the Chamber, you can RSVP through the website and attend that. The one big event coming up, as many of you have heard, is the Dancing with the Chamber event. This is a big event, will be held at Riverside Brookfield High School on April 27th in the evening. Their tickets have already been on sale for a while, so if you'd like to attend, it's supposed to be a full house. So please buy your tickets on the Chamber website. If you want a little $5 off, you put in code VOB for Village of Brookfield, and you get $5 off your ticket. So we'd love to see you there and have you cheer on all of the dancers. And then the Chamber's next meeting, regular meeting, is Monday, April 18th at noon, and that's at downstairs at the library. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gahuli. Trustee Hendricks, Planning and Zoning?
Yes, the Planning and Zoning Commission met this last Thursday. We saw one case. It was a request for special use for low-impact manufacturing of craft beer on Ogden Avenue with a variance requested for off-street parking. The building would not be including any retail space at the moment or any tap room at the moment. They're just looking for brewing of craft beer. It's the Hop District, which some of us may be familiar with over in LaGrange Park, hoping to reuse and revitalize an old building in Brookfield. That will be coming before the Committee of the Whole in the next couple of meetings. I'm not sure exactly which meeting it'll be coming to. And that ends my report.
Thank you. Trustee Ketchmark, Administration, Economic Development?
The Economic Development Commission meeting of March 20th was canceled. The next meeting is April 17th, and I will report back after that.
Thank you. Trustee Naramatsu and Trustee Kaluzny are not here tonight. In terms of the Solid Waste Agency and WCMC, the WCMC Executive Committee has not met since our last meeting. There is an April 8th Executive Board meeting for the WCMC. I plan to attend that as a member of the Executive Board. And we just continue to work with Brookfield Zoo. It's an exciting time for them. We're working on the date they're going to appear to share their master plan with us as they continue with their instruction and the opening of the exhibits. They had the grand opening of the Ferris wheel with students from Riverside Brookfield High School, and there was some good news coverage of that. So we'll keep working with them on that and other projects. So that ends the reports of special committees. At this point, I would entertain a motion to pass the omnibus agenda.
So moved.
Second?
The motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Ketchmark. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to the items under regular business. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to pass an ordinance amending Chapter 62 zoning, Article 2 districts, Division 8 stationary districts, Section 216 use table of the Code of Ordinances to include business support services as a permitted use in the SA2 neighborhood mixed-use district.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Gahuli, second by Trustee Hendricks. This was a matter heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission. They made a recommendation to the Village Board. We discussed it at a previous committee of the whole meeting. Do any board members have any additional questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The next item, I'd entertain a motion to pass an ordinance to approve a special use permit for a commercial vehicle repair and maintenance business and a special use permit for accessory outdoor storage, at 8800 47th Street.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Hendricks, second by Trustee Gahuli. Again, this was another item heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission. A favorable recommendation was sent to the Village Board. We discussed it at a previous committee of the whole meeting. Are there any additional questions or comments from the board? Okay, hearing none, can we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The final item of regular business, I'd entertain a motion to pass a resolution to approve the 2024 through 2026 collective bargaining agreement for the Brookfield Police Department patrol officers and sergeants represented by the Illinois Council of Police Union.
So moved.
Second?
The motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Ketchmark. This is the result of union negotiations with our police patrol officers and sergeants. We've come to an agreement. It's been approved by the members of the union. It's here for the board's approval tonight. Are there any additional questions or comments from the board? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Tim, anything by the manager's report?
Yes, thank you, President Garb. A couple of quick updates. We are progressing with the capital improvements that are happening on Du Bois and Burlington. Work is kind of starting at both ends of the project. Right now at Du Bois and Ogden, you will see contractors working on installing the new water main that will run down Burlington to Ogden through Du Bois. That is happening under the sidewalk, should not impact traffic or parking in that area. What will start impacting traffic a little bit is now work on the opposite end, on the east end. Right now, the crew is working on installing the new storm sewer pipe that's going to drain directly into Salt Creek. They're working underneath the park, Creekside Park, and probably beginning next week, the block of Burlington between Forest and Grove will be closed to traffic for about a week or a week and a half while they are doing some of that intrusive work. So, as I reported at the last meeting, we waited till after St. Patty's Day. So the work will now be taking place probably next week. That small little block will be shut down to traffic while that work is continuing. It should not last longer than for that work. And then the work will progressively move to the west from Forest. Finally, village offices will be closed on Friday for the Good Friday holiday.
And Tim, with those construction projects, we're going to continue to provide updates on the village webpage that's set up to deal with those construction projects.
Yes.
So people, we're going to have a lot of work going on this summer, and created a new portal where you can keep updated on all the projects. And, as much as we try to plan everything, sometimes some surprises pop up. We'll try and get that information out as soon as possible, so. All right, Tim, thank you for the manager's report. We do have an executive session that I'm going to ask to adjourn into that for just a moment. Normally, we have a committee of the whole meeting, but we didn't have any items that were ready for the committee of the whole tonight, so there will not be a committee of the whole meeting after this. We cancel that meeting with notice. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Section 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss purchase or lease of real property for the village's use.
So moved.
Second.
The motion to go into executive session was made by trustee Cote, second by trustee Gahuli. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendrick?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, it's 7:09. We're adjourned into executive session, and I'd like to start that executive session pretty quickly. We are going to meet here in the boardroom, so I would ask that